You can just put your bot in top lane and it's better. Because it's safer. I think bot lane will go top actually this season. That's so crazy. But Riot will have to revert this then. Wait, what? This actually dropped already. Look at this. Gameplay spotlight is out. Right, wait. Let's watch this. Let's watch this right now. So this is the next season. There are no walls. The jungle monsters have some void versions or something.
We've got quite a few changes to share, from terrain adjustments to new monsters and items. Ready to see what's coming? Let's get into it.
Alright, let's see.
Wait, where are we? Oh, it's top lane. These walls are different, and would you look at that? The brush is now in the middle of the river.
Small brush?
That'll make for a trickier gank path from jungle, so you top laners can focus more on your lane opponent instead of hungry junglers. We've got terrain changes across the entire map actually, like in mid lane. The brush is farther back from the lane now, and we've adjusted the walls to both red and blue side for better symmetry. Overall, these adjustments should make it a little safer to play a variety of champions in mid lane, especially those mages with 0 dashes. Speaking of safety, we've also changed the walls opposite Baron and Dragon Pit for a bit more security while you're moving between lanes through the jungle. Finally, in bot lane, there's a new gank path on red side to make the map more symmetrical. We've also shifted the brush to the middle of the river so both teams can more reasonably fight for vision control. Look alive down there.
What?
New jungle paths aren't the only thing to keep your eye on this season. A new void monster has found its way to the rift. During the early game, a camp of 3 void grubs will now spawn inside the Baron Pit. When you attack a grub, smaller void mites appear to join the fight. Killing one of the void grubs grants a permanent buff to your entire team that deals damage over time when attacking turrets. For every grub you slay, the buff becomes more powerful. After the first 3 grubs are killed, 3 more will spawn a few minutes later. If your team manages to kill all 6, then you unlock the maximum buff. When you attack a turret, you'll apply the damage over time and spawn some void mites of your own to help take it down. Keep in mind that these grubs are an incremental camp, not all or nothing. So slaying even 1 can give your team a small boost and keep the enemy from collecting all 6.
Alright, I see. So Herald is gone and now you just get a damage bonus if you get this for the whole team. So if you, as a jungler, if you kill this, then your bot lane will push faster and everything.
Disappear, and the beloved Rift Herald enters the game with a peer.
Oh, okay. So first Herald is replaced by this.
Remaining grubs disappear, and the beloved Rift Herald enters the game with a fresh new look. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's the hideously vile influence of the void from whence they came. If you slay the Herald, you can summon them as before to march down lane and whack turrets. Or any member of your team can hop on board to play Summoner's Drift, steering the monster as they charge forward like a battle sled. Ramming Herald into a turret this way deals some extra damage, and you can run into enemy champions to damage and knock them up. On collision with terrain or a turret, the driver pops out nearby, and the ability to steer goes on cooldown. This cooldown resets if you hit a turret, but takes longer if you hit a wall. All aboard the Shelly Demolition Train. Now let's talk about... what was that? Baron Nashor, Voidborn Tyrant of the Rift, is back and badder than ever before.
So new Baron,
the game, you'll
new
know
look.
it. Baron takes one of 3 forms when he emerges. Each form provides the same classic buff, but alters how he fights and determines the shape of his pit.
What?
But wait, there's more. With Baron's entrance, the Void's influence spreads across the map, infusing the Scuttle Crab, Brambleback, and Sentinel with dark power. Voidborn Scuttle Crab becomes tankier and tougher to kill. On death, she sends out a massive burst like a Scryer's Bloom, revealing all enemy champions and wards in a large area.
Qiyana is getting so gutted by this changes. Because this is blue Scrying Plan, so it's probably reveals stealth. Wait, he's on stealth. It reveals stealth, there are worse walls. How do you even ult off of this or this as Qiyana? Or this, how do you ult? This sucks, bro. There's less walls in general. Alright, I'm gonna rant later. Let's watch the rest of this.
Influence spreads across the map, infusing the Scuttle Crab, errant champions, and wards in a large area. Bet you didn't see that coming. Likewise, the Voidborn red and blue buff require a little more muscle to take down, but in exchange, they grant the buff to every teammate who's alive at the time. So no more fighting over who gets blue buff, alright?
Every teammate who's alive. Everyone gets blue. What? No more fighting over who gets the blue. I think this is a strategic decision. I don't think this is a problem, personally. Alright,
With
whatever.
Mountain Rift losing a few walls that didn't quite until... Speaking of cool new buffs, let's talk Infernal Rift. All versions of the Elemental Rift have been refreshed to accommodate the new base terrain, with Mountain Rift losing a few walls that didn't quite fit anymore, but we've changed up Infernal Rift completely. We don't have gameplay footage quite ready at this time, so let me paint you a word picture. Instead of a burned out fire escape, Infernal Rift will scatter infernal cinders all across the map. Picking up these fire escape...
Also, those thick walls you cannot jump over on Qiyana. Alright, just saying. So there's less mobility for Qiyana also here.
Infernal
Alright.
Rift will scatter infernal cinders all across the map. Picking up these cinders gives a small burst of move speed and a stat buff. On death, half your collected cinders explode out for others to snag for themselves. I mean, you weren't using them anymore, right? Like picking out fire escape, Infernal Rift will scatter infernal cinders all across the map. Picking up these cinders gives a small burst of move speed and a stat buff. On death, half your collected cinders explode out for others to snag for themselves. I mean, you weren't using them anymore, right?
Also, so you killed the enemies and then they can get the buff from you. So it's like, you collect the buff and then enemies kill you and then they get the buff and then you kill them and then you get the buff back. I guess.
As in years past, we've made some item adjustments for this new season. Like, a lot of adjustments. For one, mythic items are out. Gone. Poof. In their place, we're adding, removing, and updating a bunch of items across several champion classes. Mages, assassins, tanks, enchanters, fighters, and marksmen will all notice quite a few changes when they gear up this season. For example, the new Storm Surge for those AP assassins and burst mages who really want to shock the enemy. In addition, we've overhauled the support quest items. Supports now have a singular item they pick up at the start of the game with minimal stats. You earn gold with this item by executing minions of any type for a flat amount, or hitting enemy champions with abilities or attacks. At the middle tier, you unlock refilling wards as before. And when you reach the final tier, you can choose between several upgraded items to suit your playstyle. Whether you prefer protecting your carry or more aggressive support tactics, we've got you covered. While you're running around the new map with new monsters and new items, you should keep an eye out for old grudges. We've added a handful of champion quests that will trigger when certain champs are in the same game. Defeating your quest rival on the enemy team will grant a tiny buff. While it won't significantly impact the game, it'll be a nice reward for your renekton mains to finally stick it to Nasus. Many of the changes we've made this year...
More quests like Rengar versus Kha'Zix. Alright, whatever, I guess.
are aimed at making gameplay mechanics and systems easier to understand. This goal
easier to understand. I can see that.
includes a lot of adjustments mentioned previously.
Because it's like very simplified. You know, even items, you know. No mythics. Also, this map feels kind of more simple to me right now. The way it is. Alright, we'll see.
Tooltip language. We also just want to make it...
Do they show like a big map of this? I guess not.
It feel better to be on the Rift. Listen closely and you might notice the music changing throughout the game based on where you are or what you're doing. Baron boss music, anyone? And now you can celebrate or commiserate with your teammates in a language everyone understands. The fist bump. Okay, that was a lot to cover. In summary, new terrain means new gank paths in every lane. Void grubs are now a thing. You can now drive the Rift Herald into battle. Baron looks scarier and the Void is everywhere. Infernal Rift is totally changing. There's a bunch of new items. Some champs are bringing their beef onto the Rift, and fist bumps explode into sparkles and fireworks. Whew. Got all that? Good.
Okay. Alright, so show me the map. Show me the map. Once again. Because I think this is the biggest change that happened to League for sure. With this map change. This is so big, like...
Instead of hungry junglers.
They can focus more on lane opponents instead of hungry junglers. Yeah, because how do you even gank this? You can only gank from here, right? There's no gank here. You can flash it maybe. Some champions can gank through it, like some Rek'Sai or something can still gank through it. So Rek'Sai is gonna be strong now, I guess. It's just all Rek'Sai buffs.
Jungle, so you top laners can focus more on...
You can only go through here. Like, bro, this is such a just bare area, like there's nothing here. Like, what do you mean? It's all open.
On your lane opponent instead of hungry junglers.
It's same in bot lane. There's nothing here. All of the walls are further back. Look at this. How far back that is. Imagine playing Qiyana in mid and ulting someone. It's actually possible. If you stand here, Qiyana will never ult you. If you stand here, Qiyana will never ult you. Not even close. It's not happening. Look how big of an open space that is. Rest in peace, the Qiyana is the last season this champ is playable.
The brush is farther back from the lane.
Oh, brush is further back, so you can't even get this brush without like walking down or something. What is going on?
Walls to both red and blue side for better symmetry.
wards here.
Overall, these adjustments should make it a little safer to play a variety of champions in mid lane,
Yeah, because there are no walls, so you see everything and it's so open.
especially those mages with 0 dashes. Speaking of safety, we've also changed the walls opposite
I mean, you never know how it is, you know, and the complaining is easy on Riot games, but I really feel bad about this. I don't know.
Baron and
But in bot, there is this gank path, which was in top, now it's possible in bot.
there's a new gank path on red side to make the map more symmetrical. We've also
But what about top lane then? Wait, so they only reworked this wall on top lane? But this is how it was, right? This wall didn't change, so they only changed the top lane. So top laners can just go bot and bot laners can go top because it's safer, right? So bot lane will now go top and top lane will go bot. It's that simple. Because they only changed one wall, right? You can just put your bot in top lane and it's better because it's safer. This doesn't make any sense. So not only did they only change the top part,
and Dragon
but also they added more ganks here. So you can gank bot from 3 angles and you can gank top from only 1, pretty much. What? It's dumb. I think bot lane will go top actually this season. That's so crazy. But Riot will have to revert this then.
look alive down
So stupid.
before.
This Baron walls, bro, you cannot play
And
Qiyana,
team can hop
kind of. So it's not the end of the world for Qiyana. You can still kind of pull it off, but it's gonna be harder for sure. You know, you could explode this, maybe it's good. Or you could explode this. But then it doesn't even reach here, right? The ult just goes here. Qiyana got nerfed, big time. So there's no wall next to blue. So, alright, there's a good screenshot of how the map looks. So you can gank mid through here. So like diving mid is gonna be easier for sure. So mid is less defensive, top is more defensive, and bot is less defensive. A lot of open areas, which means warding is easier, I guess. It's harder to ambush enemies, maybe. With all this, invading is easier, because map is in general more open. Maybe, but invades are scary now, man. Let me tell you. Invades, like someone picks a Blitzcrank, just walks in here. They just walk wherever they want, like... I don't know. And walls are thick, so... Champion like Qiyana doesn't have much advantage, because you can only jump over these walls, but all of the walls are anyway way open. I don't like this. I obviously don't like this. I play Qiyana, so I'm biased, but...
better to be on the rift.
How do you play Qiyana though? How do you get ults in here? In such a wide lane. Imagine someone stands here. You never get an ult off. Never. There are no ults anymore. Not possible. And you need to walk probably here to get this brush. You cannot get it like from here. You would need to walk like here. It's gonna be a mess, bro. I mean, it just adjusts. And there is new music. Alright. So that's it. It's you know, work in progress and everything, but there it is. It's gonna be the biggest change in League this far. And I feel like they're trying to make the game a bit more simple, which I don't know if it's for the best. We'll see. We'll see. So there it is. Season 24. Bro,